All right, guys, welcome to part 2 of our top-down of our Automata. We're going to be building our camshaft as a separate subassembly, but still in the same design file. So we're going to make the whole design active, and under Assemble, we're going to create a new component. That new component is going to be camshaft. So now we got box, looks good, camshaft. Let's create a sketch on that right side of our box. Now again, everything I'm referencing is going to be in that drawing file. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw some of that geometry. I'm going to draw a 1-inch circle. And then I'm going to use C for circle again. I'm going to draw a 1/2-inch diameter circle. I'm going to go ahead and create the distance between those circles. Let's just go ahead and make those 1.5 inches. Looks great. And let's draw some geometry to connect those. So I'm going to hit L for line. And we're going to connect the outside edges of those circles together. We're not fully dimensioned yet, which is okay. So I'm going to use tangent to make that line tangent with that circle. That line tangent with that circle. Oh, that one's already there. And there we go. Looking okay. Now, the only reason this isn't fully constrained yet is because it still can rotate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on horizontal vertical. So I'm going to click on horizontal vertical, the center of that circle, vertically over top of that circle, and now we're fully constrained. Looks good. Now we have 3 more kind of geometry shapes to draw in here, but we're going to be in consideration of the clearance to allow for a clearance fit or a tolerant fit. That way these pieces can fit together when we 3D print them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on rectangle and center point rectangle and do 0.26 because my dowel rod we're using is going to be a 1/4 inch, and that 0.26, that 100th of an inch, allows it to be a nice snug fit, or we can just use just a little bit of glue and we should be good. Same thing down here. We're going to draw that center point rectangle again. 0.26, 0.26, looking good. Now the only piece we need from here on us as for the right side of our bushing is we're going to need 0.49. So that way we've got some geometry that's going to have some clearance between our right side wall and the inside of that bushing. So click on Finish Sketch, and it's looking good so far. I'm going to E for Extrude here, so I'm going to go ahead and extrude out all of these pieces. Looks good, and let's just do that by a 1/4 inch. We're going to do those as new components. All right, and then it looks like I didn't grab that geometry just right, so I'm going to edit that. Make sure I grab all of those pieces and then click OK. So we should only have one component with one body and it looks okay. The next thing we got going on, just to double check to make sure everything's good, I see that our dimensions are 0.26, 0.26. Hot dog, we're cooking. We do need the inside of this bushing to be correct. So I'm going to hit E for Extrude again, make that sketch active. And I'm going to grab just that inside circle and then click Join because I want it to join to that bushing we've got so far. So notice that we got a little bit of a gap here, as expected, a little bit of clearance value, so that way those pieces can fit correctly. And it goes all the way through. Looking good. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's keep going. We're going to do the same thing on the left-hand side. I'm going to do that rather quickly because it's going to be pretty similar to what we did on the right. So I'm going to click on Create a Sketch. I'm going to do P for Project, actually, and we're just going to project a lot of that geometry that we had. And that's going to make our lives easier. Just honestly, projecting is going to be great. It's great for a top-down modeling environment because if I were to change this dimension on the other side, it would actually project and then change this dimension. So in the instance we got to make edits later on, it's going to make our life just a whole lot easier. So I'm going to extrude those out. And let's do that as a 1/4 inch. And that's going to be a new component. Looking okay. All right. We're going to hit E for extrude again. And I'm going to find that sketch. That sketch is consumed. It's gone. Let's find it. There we go. There we go. Negative 1/4 inch. So now we've got our left bushing. We got our right bushing. Things are looking really good. All right. Just to make sure as we're going through this, let's create some more documentation. So I'm going to call that one right bushing. Looks good. We're going to call this left bushing. Looks good. It seems like I have some floating bodies in here. There's a little bit of an issue here, is that my right bushing isn't doing as expected. Somehow I didn't, use the correct commands, and so my body's in the wrong spot. So I noticed this body 1 belongs to right bushing. So I'm going to drag it down and drop it in there. So now right bushing has all the correct geometry in there. We could leave this here and kind of be done, or we could edit this a little bit. So I'm going to hit modify and combine. And we are going to target body is going to be that plate. We got that inside barrel. Looks great. We're not going to keep the tools. And then click OK. So what did that do for me? Well, it took those 2 bodies and it combined them, or 1 body. It's cleaning up our design as we go. Now I noticed a little bit something, same thing with that left bushing. So let's fix that as well. So left bushing, body 2. And let's combine those bodies. Looking great. I want to make sure I'm selecting the right stuff. So tool body, going to be that inside piece. We're going to do a join, click OK. And there we go. Our left bushing has only 1 body in it, as we expected. Our right bushing has 1 body in it, as we expected. And our camshaft has 2 components right now. Left bushing, right bushing. Looks good. All right, now that we've got that all fixed up, let's continue on and down with our shaft. So our shaft is going to be a 1/4 inch dowel rod, and so we need to actually draw that in our sketch. So I'm going to click on sketch 1, and I'm going to edit it. I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to click on another 2-point rectangle. Center rectangle, let's do center rectangle. And that's going to be a 1/4 inch by a 1/4 inch. And then we're going to use this square as our dowel rod. We can be a little cool with it. Let's do some cool stuff. Let's do a 2-sided extrusion. So let's go out a 1/4 inch one direction, hit tab, and then let's go out to an object on the other side. Look at that. So we actually went both directions, and in one extrusion, got it all done. Looks great. We're going to create that as a new component. Looking good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and rename that component as axle. There we go. We're missing one last piece for our camshaft, and that's going to be our handle. So I'm actually going to come back here and edit sketch 1 one more time and zoom in. Create rectangle, center rectangle, and that's going to be a 1/4 inch by a 1/4 inch. E for extrude, and that's going to be, let's do 2 1/8 on that handle as a new component, and we're looking good. Now that we've got our geometry kind of as we expect, let's go ahead and name this. Let's call this part handle. Let's now assign some of our materials. So I'm going to right click and add a physical material. I'm going to do some plastic because I'm going to print these off. Let's do ABS. I'm going to drag and drop that ABS plastic for my left bushing and for my right bushing. Let's use some pine for our dowel rods. And things are looking really good, folks. Looking really, really good. Let's just clean up our space a little bit. So I'm going to deactivate those sketches. And let's start to get our assemblies to work correctly. Because if I move some pieces, they don't work as expected. So let's hit revert position. And let's do another rigid group. So we're going to click on our left bushing, our axle, our right bushing, and our handle. And let's go ahead and make those a rigid group. So that they're going to move in reference with each other. Now we can't move this right now. Or they don't separate from each other, at least let's put it that way. We can't move these apart from each other, and that's what we expect. What we don't have right now is the joint for it to rotate as expected in the wall. So what we're going to do is we're going to make everything active and then try that again. Do as built joint, the axle as it is built with the wall, that is going to be a revolute. The next thing it's asked is where are you snapping around? Where are you spinning around? And that's going to be the center of that dowel rod right here. And it should expect it to rotate. Now, this is a preview. This preview is only between these two components. What it doesn't take in reference to is those rigid groups. So when I'm previewing this, it's only just going to be that dowel rod. But when I click OK, now it's putting in reference to everything else, and this should rotate as expected. All right, now for our cams. You might want to do different cams, which is totally fine. Those can be modeled. There's tons of videos out there on making those cams. You might already even have your cams already made. I'm just going to model one of them really quickly and then reuse that asset. So let's do it. I'm going to create under symbol a new component. Let's go ahead and create our eccentric cam. Looks great. I do need, since I'm going to try to model this in the space where it's supposed to be, hit construct, and we're going to do an offset plane from the inside of that wall. It's going to be 1 inch gap, looks okay. And then we're going to create a sketch on that. Now the reason I chose that is because that plane lines up with exactly over my hole. We can come in here and do some real quick geometry real quick just to get an eccentric cam out there. So go ahead and dimension it. Let's do 1.5 inch. Looks great. Let's do P for project so I can grab that square. Click OK. Might even have to come in here and create a point. Form the center. Looks good. Just getting some real quick geometry in there to make that eccentric cam. Again, you might have already made it. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and finish sketch here. And what I have is I have a eccentric cam ready to go. So let's do it. Let's extrude that body. We're going to do it symmetrically, 1/8 of an inch, because it'll actually go both ways and line up over my hole really well. Click OK, and things are looking good. All right, the problem is that this can move. Hey, we don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead, make everything active, and then I'm going to do a rigid group just to make that cam rigid with that axle. All right, you would do something similar for that other cam on the other side. For our second cam, I'm going to do something a little bit cool just to showcase something new off. We're actually going to hit eccentric cam. I'm going to do Control-C, Control-V, copy-paste like you would on anything really. And then I'm going to rotate it and then just do a joint. So I've got a second copy of that cam since I'm going to use 2 eccentric cams in this automata. Click OK. J for joint. We're going to go and join that with the bottom of our dowel rod. Looks great. Might need to do a little flip action. And then slide it in as far as we need to get it over our hole. And for me, that's going to be something close to negative 1.25. Nope, 1.375. Looking good, folks. All right, we could do a couple other things. We could go ahead and throw our cams. Let's revert that position into our camshaft, so it's part of that subassembly, and add our physical materials, our ABS plastic to our cams. Save it, and we are good to go, folks. All right, if you got any questions, comments, concerns, throw them down in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next video.